Hello, Swivelheads. This is Greg Allison. How are we doing today? And Green Greg's eggs and ham. Thought I'd have a little fun with the title there. Why not, guys? Gotta have a little humor. Some somebody commented on my last video. Greg, you're always blaming Damon. He's said it several times. You're always blaming Damon. Everything is negative. Really? My Thanksgiving one's negative. Our prayer sessions are negative. I don't know. Some people just do that, huh? Just don't have a lot of sense of humor, do they? I went to his channel and looked at it, and he actually is prepping. Although he says he's not a prepper, he just did 3 prepping videos. And he's driving his car by himself wearing his face mask. And guys, you really don't have to do it when you're by yourself. And they think you're going to get yourself sick. If you think you're going to infect yourself, I don't know. I don't know. Of course, maybe he didn't want to touch it because it's going between places. Okay, maybe. I don't know. So, bless his heart. I wish him well. uh, anyway, well, guys, I do have hope for the future, and that I have hope for the future. I actually went today and took my trailer. Y'all may have seen it in the past. I bought an enclosed trailer back a month or so ago, a couple months ago, maybe at most, and I took it up to this trailer place that which manufactures RVs, and they're going to put an AC unit in the ceiling. Now, see, I've got hope that there will be power. Of course, I don't know, but if we run out of electrical power, then this is a waste of money. I had a bigger size. I was gonna have to wait so many more months to get the other one, and on and on and on and on. And well, I turned out I had a little bit of a leak around the vent in the ceiling of it, which wasn't apparent when I bought it, and all looked pretty good shape. But uh, it's going to cost me what I thought was $1,200. It's going to cost me like $2,600. I'm going, ouch. Okay, I've been spending some money lately. It's all added up, and it's beginning to hurt. Uh, Pump in and pipes and everything from my well. That's costing twice as much as the well did. It's like, wow, I didn't know it was going to be that much. They do have the pump put in now. The pump is installed. All the plumbing's not installed yet because it's been kind of rainy here the last few days. But this is adding up. So if you're wondering, Greg, where do you get all this money? I've been living hand to mouth for a long time because I've got a lot of credit card debt actually from previous relationship I had. But all that said, the I refinanced the house, and that was a good chunk of what I got. Plus, I got my tax returns in, and I had some big losses last year, so I got a pretty good return on my taxes. So that's been the bulk of what I got. Of course, the YouTube channel is helping out some. It really is, and it makes a difference. I'd be in a world of hurt if it weren't for you guys watching. I really would. That really helped me a lot. So, but the bulk of it, by far, most of it, over 2/3 of it, came from a combination of my taxes and refinancing the house. Over 2/3 of it. And so, and well, also I am doing a little bit better now that my daughter is on her own. I'm not having to pay child care out. I mean, not child care. I mean, child support. Which actually, she lived with me for a while, at least half time, but I still paid. So that's kind of those are expenses I'm kind of getting past. I hope I don't acquire new ones and place them. Anyway, so for those that are not familiar with this and what I'm doing here. Um, and those that have questions, Greg, your video is terrible, or all that kind of stuff. I'm doing a live session from my phone, and somebody says, "Maybe Greg, you may be losing subscribers." I have tried several times to do it from my computer and syncing the YouTube and um, Zoom up, and it's resulted very poorly. I've not got them synced up very well. I've done a couple of videos that way, but I thought they were horrendous. And so I've got a little bit more work to do on that, quite a bit more. And just finding time to research all that stuff is a real pain in my life. Um, I think I do these videos better than I used to because I've got my phone to rotate. Although the buffering, I can't do different topics I discuss, it's going to buffer. I see other channels that are using good hardline connections, they buffer too and get kicked out. Maybe the video's a little better. But the funny thing is, some people say, Greg, this is why you're losing subscribers because of your video quality. Well, I've been doing these live sessions ever since what? Last February or earlier? and they were worse looking then, and my channel was growing like crazy. So I have a hard time thinking that's it. I think it's the platform. I think they just are holding things back. You know, I had got up almost to 49,400 subscribers, and it dropped down under 42. Then after that video I did on a bug out, it helped me out. I got back to 49, 260, 70. Now I've dropped below 40, that 200 mark again. So it's like I'm dropping again. Just drop, 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 drop like a rock. You got to have a smash hit. I went on Rex's show 4 times in 1 week. Either. I'm dropping like a rock. And this hasn't ever happened before. So I don't, there's really no difference I can think of in format and content. If you can think of something now, tell me. I'm highly curious about that. But I just think it's the nature of the beast. I think it's a platform. I think that's why I get knocked out so much. I can go Wi-Fi sitting right here next to my router, and it's no good. We just boom, 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 boom. So, or I can go through my cell phone, same thing, boom, 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 boom. It makes no difference. I get knocked out a lot, especially when it seems to get talked about certain things. I don't know about you guys. It's cold outside, but I'm getting kind of hot. I think I'm gonna take off this outer shirt. I don't know if it's what I ate or it's the coffee. I just had pizza a little bit ago, and I gotta tell you, I hope it don't make me sleepy because I'm a sleep deprived person. I hadn't ate pizza in months because I've been low carb, but doing low carb in holiday season just don't make sense. This is my chance. I kind of go off the rails on that a little bit and do things I don't normally do. Hang on a minute, I'm gonna take this shirt off. Fortunately, I do have a t-shirt on, so I ain't gonna be naked. But I'm getting hot. I got the heater turned off too. It's been cold in here all day, so I don't know why I'm feeling hot all at once. Must just be what I ate. Yeah, you're having hot flashes. Well, I don't know. Well, we gotta have a little fun, right? So one thing I like to do in a session is check people's comments as much as I can. I try to do that more than other YouTubers. Sometimes it gets to be a challenge. I get behind in a hurry, so I need to do that real fast. I'll ask some questions tonight. There's some really weird stuff going on. Even like it makes you think we're living in a sci-fi world. We'll talk about some of that and see what you guys want to talk about. For those that are not familiar with these sessions, this is more audience driven than anything. I mean, I may have a few things to talk about, but you guys are more in the driver's seat in these videos. A lot of other YouTubers set a topic, before they do their video, and I hadn't done that. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I have a few things in mind I want to say, but this is for you. Let me see what you guys are saying now. Let me go back to the top here. And Chief Redbird, late night, long day. That it is. Cowboy Roy Rogers, don't have too much fun. This is my fun, Roy. Hey guys, check out Roy's channel. His channel is it needs some more support. It deserves more than what it's got, guys. Go in there and subscribe to Roy. Everybody give him a big sub. Tin Hat Man, greetings everyone. Jason Avers, all right, my fellow wizard is here. And Vicky, my staple person here. She's always if she don't make it, she's always regretful. Sometimes early in the morning, because she's a few hours later. Man, she's West Coast, but she's always good to be one of the first people on board. Usually the first. Her and there's another lady between them. They and that other Susan. Oh, what's her name? I can't remember right. I'm brain lock. She's really good at being first to comment on videos. But Vicky's always good at being the first or one of the first in the chat sessions. Rebel Rose, how you doing? Didn't know you could smoke with black walnut. And Thomas Weary, hello. Thomas, I think I saw you in one of the other chats, didn't I? Rex's show last night, maybe? Or is everything running together for me? Last night, today? Yeah, I think I caught a little bit of his. Jason, I have a hard line and just under 999 MPS, still buffer occasionally. Yeah. All channels buffer. They do right now. Well, it may depend on what you cover. My travel trailer has microwave, okay? There you go. Well, I'm not talking about a travel trailer. This is a cargo trailer, an enclosed cargo trailer, 17-footer. The purpose of it is to grow microgreens. It's not a travel trailer. It's not something to live in. I've seen people convert these into homes and live in them. But as you may know, I'm probably on the verge of buying a bus, which can be used for that. And I also want to outfit my van along those lines. Low carb isn't necessary, just less processed is necessary. Yeah, well, when you sit behind a computer 10 hours a day on your day job, the cholesterol, what do you call it? Cortisone, isn't that it? Cortisone? Oh, shoot. Come on, guys, help me out. Cortisol, that stuff builds up in your system, and that makes you put on weight. I don't care what you do. You can almost eat nothing and still put on weight. I was told my final paperwork for closing has arrived. All right, good for you. Heading to Arkansas. So you're selling your place there. Good for you. Well, guess what? I'm buying. Who saw my session from last night, the one I posted the wee hours, like right at midnight? Um, yeah, that video's underperforming, probably because I posted it so late. My bad. Sometimes I post them late and they do really well the next day. That one's not so much so. What's your oldest heirloom vegetable seed plant you save? I have my own variety of Star of David okra. I planted for years. And it's bigger than the normal Star of David okra. And you can eat it when it's bigger. It don't, you can cut the big pots and eat them. But yeah. I haven't planted it in about 2 years, and I don't know if those seeds are going to be any good. So I may have lost my variety. It's my own variety too, and so I'm kind of concerned about that. So it's green Greg's and ham. Sam, I am. All right, a fishes and loaves live. There you go. Yeah. Hey, I've got to the bottom. Did it pretty fast. Oh, there we go. There's some more. To specify, I'm in Arkansas, so the winters ain't horrible. Well, there you go. They're not as bad here as in some places either, but it can get chilly, but there's nothing like there. But you get used to that. You acclimate to it. Rebel has your lips to his ears. Let's see. And Cray's Family Homestead. Well, good evening to you. And Sandy, Swiss chard is microgreens nice. Oh, I haven't tried Swiss chard as microgreens. That'd be interesting. I like Swiss chard. Okra seeds last a long time. I planted some at 6 years old, and they all came up good. I'm glad to hear that. I've planted probably 9-year-old rattlesnake bean seeds and had them all come up. 2 years should be okay. Maybe not 100%, but some should germinate. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I need to get those planted next spring. I just this year, I didn't plant them last year because I just had a lot of stuff going, and then this year, I was emphasizing a medicinal garden with more turmeric and garlic, but I do need to plant my okra. I really do. So that's going to be a priority for me. But this year has been a horrible year for me. This year has been just, I've had so many things come at me that it's kind of wrecked everything I was doing for quite a bit. And so I've been in recovery mode. But I've also been trying to do other things like build the tribes and start this Freedom Restoration Foundation and other stuff while I'm in the recovery mode. And that's just really too much, but it's just so important. And some people don't appreciate all that. Yeah, it's buffering on me. I just bounced out twice. So do you grow time to process the food? I can grow it, but processing is rough. That's the cool thing about garlic and turmeric. I don't have to do a lot of processing. you know, when you're a single guy and you got a 10-hour a day job, and you got that's about the way I work. But I get every other Friday off, and sometimes I get a little bit off the other Friday by working that way. But during the week, I can't hardly get anything done. On the weekend, I spend most of my time running around fetching and getting things, running errands. So it makes it really challenging to run a worm farm, a market garden, a greenhouse. That's why I've been saying to folks, I really am looking at the idea of sharecropping this out. And to make it even more complicated, well, to do worms, I really need to be able to ship locally everywhere. I need a worm farm here, and I need a worm farm out west. Well, guess what? Did you see my video last night? Who did not see my video last night? when I posted we all, I imagine most of you hadn't seen. For some reason, I know Vicky's on it. Why did I announce Vicky? What am I up to in Arizona? You know. Kitty Title G-Man says, Vinegar. Thank you. Hey, I try to have a little fun. I try to have a little fun here. And Karen says she missed it. Rebel Rose, wow, wonderful. Vicky get some Highlander cattle. Yeah, Vicky's heading there. She's going to be in a good spot. All right, did we lose Vicky? Oh, 100 acres. Most of the ravine. Yeah. No, hey, you should have some buffer from the 100 acres, Vicky. On the video, so I might as well say I was kind of keeping it quiet. You should use honey instead of sugar. I'm into that. Ah, nobody knows. Well, where is it? I got a copy right there somewhere. Where'd I put it? That's it. That's from my vehicle. Well, shuckins. Somewhere. Where'd I put it? That ain't it. Shuckins. Well, I'm not going to be digging for it. I'm going to hold the phone in one hand. I put the phone down on you guys too many times, don't I? Ah, Vicky. Go back in. Well, Vicky, you're going to have a lot of buffer there. A lot of buffer. And you can do stuff with the hilly land. Shoot. You can grow mushroom logs in the forest. All right. So I'll tell you what I'm up to. Surprised we only got 36 people in here tonight. That's interesting. 37. Okay, it's getting better. Give me some more thumbs up, guys. I need some help with my algorithms. Algor, no rhythms. So I have signed a purchase order for 40 acres in Arizona. Now, I said that last night in that little video I did on which topic was it? Oh, it's my winter greenhouse aquaponics video, the one I posted today, not the one I did last night. It was the one I filmed it a couple nights ago, and I posted it during the day today. A winter greenhouse and aquaponics video. I put it on there. So since I announced it and said it, I just thought I might as well go ahead and say it. I don't know why I fessed up to it. I was going to keep it quiet. But I have actually put in a purchase. I have signed a purchase agreement. You know, and if everything goes through, you know, I'm going to have another farm. And that's probably somewhere on the border of insanity, right? But I need to be able to ship from both sides. So what I'm really hoping to find is a couple of couples or some really good people that would go in with me on a sharecropping basis there and here. And I can go back and forth. And that's what I'm looking for. And here it's going to include microgreens and it'll include worms and my garden and greenhouse. But over there it's going to be mostly worms, and we might do some gardening. I actually do need a couple of greenhouses because I want to use aquaponics water for a special project other than just growing plants. I kind of think outside the box. Aquaponics, yeah. I want that, not for growing, not for what everybody else does with it. You know, I'm a little different. I got an idea. I think it's going to be a lot more profitable than growing plants with aquaponics water. What would that be? Can you think? So railroads, I try to can everything, save bones when I haven't. There you go. Gonna have to tell the homeowners association that's a dog at railroads, but that is great. News wing, Greg. Make sure you're not in floodplain. Oh, it's not. It's got a wash on it, but it's got some higher elevation on it. Some really good high elevation. I've checked it out. Well, I've had somebody check it out for me. Member of our local tribe out there. So it's got good elevation to it. It's got high ground, well above the floodplain. Is we're talking about the 21st conjunction. I thought about that. I thought about that. You know, we've got a Christmas star coming up on the 21st, right? Jupiter and Venus coming together. Not Jupiter and Venus. Jupiter and Saturn coming together. Cronus and Jove. By Jove. And, you know, that's been quite a while since we've had that, and it'll be quite a while again. And it coincides according to Pastor Paul Begg for, the Gregorian, uh, from the Julian calendar, that is actually the Mayan 2012. So is that interesting? Mayan 2012, the are coinciding with each other. What does it mean? Maybe just be an awakening. But then again, this is the month. We're in the month that Stacy Safiki foresaw we could be attacked by two missiles to EMP our country. So, yeah, what does it all mean? We are in crazy times, I'll tell you that. So I tell everybody to get ready, prepare. Now, I'll be really ticked off if we get EMP'd because that means I'm wasting all my money putting an AC unit on top of my microgreens growing trailer. Let's hope that don't happen. Where in Arizona will you be located? I will be in northwest Arizona, but not too high north. Okay? Rebel, happy for you. Yeah, I'll be closer to you, Rebel. Good for Greg. Congrats. What about the 14th eclipse same day? Electors are due to vote. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Guys, we are living in. Yeah, I've seen 800 years according to some, but I've seen other dates. So I'm not sure that's exactly right. I've seen another time put out there. That's why I didn't quote it. I need to go dig on that a little bit. Yeah, crazy place to be right now. So let's see what else we got here. All right, Jessa, how you doing? So, and she's a figment of figment of. Yeah, it's hard for me to read all these names. Sometimes they're very faint. The mods come in bright blue. I can always read the mods' names easy. 13 acres. That's plenty for me. Yeah, that's plenty. That is plenty. Blessings on the new digs. Yeah. So I'm thinking I'm gonna take that bus and leave it out there. That's part of my plan. The bus I've been looking at, it was gonna be a bug out bus for here, maybe a guest bus for people in a mutually assured group. But now I'm really thinking I may use it initially first for a little bit of temporary storage right here as I build it out, and then take it out there as a temporary thing to live in. And I want to build a habitat. This habitat concept I've got. I want to build one on the back side of my place here in that hole I showed you, but I can easily build one there because on that hill, it's going to drain really nice. It's got a real nice hill there, and I could definitely drain it and greenhouse. Now I'll have to see what the bulldozer rates are going to be in that area, and I have to put in a well, of course, and wells are going to be a lot more expensive out there than they are here. But I've tried the water in that area. It's good water, and they say you can pump all that you want, all that you want. So I'm excited about that. And there's no limitation on that aquifer because it's just not farmed. It's not a farming area, at least yet. Of course, with the grand solar minimum, that might be a booming farming area. And there's also the whole deal that they've just legalized certain things out there for recreational purposes. So there's probably going to be a huge demand for worm products. Just saying, I'm not making any judgment on what was or wasn't legalized. Just saying that that's going to probably up the demand for worm products. A lot of people will be growing stuff, and so I got an extremely good price on this, and it's the only reason I jumped. The price was so good. It's like, Greg, if you don't buy this, you're a nut, because it's worth a lot more than what I'm paying for it right now. I mean, I could probably sell half of it off for what I gave for it, and that would be a bargain for whoever bought it. No, yeah, I mean it's that good. I got a steal on it, so I'm happy with that. So I'm not going to say too much about where it is because it's going to be a mag location. So people interested in the Arizona tribes. Looks like we're going to have about 3 opportunities in Arizona for tribes. Uh, and there's several here in this area. So I'm going through the database now. I've got folks, leaders picked. I got to contact them though, and I'm trying to match the people up to these different groups as much as I can. There's a few holes. There's only one person in California, and it's kind of central eastern California. Of course, out of California, so big north south. Talking east west in California is almost immaterial, but it is on the eastern side of the state, which is I guess high desert probably, but the or the mountains. So it's east of Sacramento. Well, they were looking at buying land there, so that's not a done deal. They may have closed it, so I got to check with them see where they're really at on that. Other than that, there's not much in California yet. Now we're still got names coming in and stuff coming in, so maybe we'll find some other people. Um, Midwest is a little bit Maine. We got a guy in Pennsylvania. We got a few places in Georgia, several here in Alabama. I got some other things that might work for Arkansas. And I'm surprised there's not that much for Texas. I thought Texas would be coming in a lot stronger, although Roy is in here. He tells me he's already in a group. So let's see what everybody's saying. I've missed a few comments. Roy, you still here? Oh, Southern Boy Prepper's in the house. All right. All right. Let's see what I missed here. Sandy's already going to bed. Darlene, learn your plants. Hey, amen, Darlene, to that. You need to check out Green Dream Project, Greg. Similar area that are developing. Green Dream Project. That kind of rings a bell. Maybe I've seen it. Oh, I guess wells are expensive out here. Yeah, I know. They're going to cost more than the property. A well will cost me more than what I'm paying for the property. Yeah, I don't have that money right now, but I might have it after we settle my dad's places out. My dad's got 2 houses that we got to sell. Is there really Chinese military on Canadian borders? Okay, the video that you may have seen Dabu 7 and some of them put out there, somebody busted. Maybe it was Dabu. He might have actually busted that. Um, of Chinese soldiers in Vancouver marching down the road. And you can see a few hundred, but then they extrapolate and say there's 10,000 in that area. I don't know what basis they make that extrapolation upon, but actually, those so called soldiers are a school of, it's a military school, a military academy for wayward girls. They're girls. And it's a rich parents' academy. As you may know, in affluent communities, there are often these little military academies where parents send their kids for discipline because they don't have time to raise their kids like they ought to. And there are some kids that just need a little extra discipline in their life that benefits from that. And some do benefit even when they're older going to boot camp. Been there, done that. But, I was already making a living for myself before I went. I'd been working in the factory for a year before I went to boot camp in a cotton mill. I used to laugh at some of them and say, wow, you never worked for a living. But so that's busted. That is busted. It's girls, it's kids that are going to school. It's an academy. There's a whole lot of Oriental people in Vancouver, and so that's just part of the what's there. It's not saying that Canada don't have an agreement. Curtis Stone's talked about that with the military, but Canada's also, had some of their people detained in China, so they got tensions with China too. So it must be some kind of love hate relationship. I don't know what's going on. Of course, China's buying into mines and things. They're really trying to. So China's hyper aggressive. We really got to watch them. If they could put them there, I'm sure they would. What I do hear is that they are involved in money laundering for the drug cartels in Mexico. And the drug cartels may be like proxies for them. They may be able to use drug cartels as their little militias south of our border. So if we get into it with China, we may have a problem with that. I don't know. That's wild speculation as to what it may mean in the long term. But apparently they are. And they still get a benefit out of that in a sense because if you know, back in the days when Britain run China, there were several drug wars in China, the Opium Wars, as you might remember. The reason the Opium Wars took place is the Chinese were trying to run the British because the British were drugging them and keeping them suppressed by keeping their population drugged. And that's how the British kept dominance over China. Its population was drugged out. And so maybe China would like to pull that on us, do a little switcheroo. Um, and we're highly susceptible to that. So and some people don't realize one of the things that Mao Zedong did is he killed all the drug addicts. So there's a lot of kids in this country who are probably doing a lot of recreational drugs that are favoring communism and talking about how great China is. You need to think about that, youngins. You better go back and crack some history books. No, that's not what they teach in school, is it? But that's what happened. So, and you better look at all the people that just have cottonwoods. Well, I've got friends right there in that area. So they've got a pretty good handle on what it means to get there. They pretty much know where that aquifer is and pretty much what it's going to cost to drill a well there. So I've already got a pretty good indication what's going to run me. I love to build an earth bag place. Yes, that's part of what I'm thinking. That is it. That's heading in the direction I'm heading there, Ricky. All right, Ricky Spence. Thanks. I always trusted Intel. Try to bring some of that. Rebel Rose will be right back. Any info on growing more mushrooms? Again one day. Back. Needed coffee. Okay, Rebel. Well, Rebel, I hug. And I got a carafe here too. I got this thing. And that's starting to get cold already. So I got my refresher coffee. I'll pour some of this because that's going to be hot. Folks, Ring Greg's doesn't take is sleep lying down. I take in a cup. Warmed it up real nice. Yeah, we got some funny topics to talk about here in a little bit. Got a few questions, and I'm probably going to do a video on some of this stuff. Maybe a week can be sometime when things are a little slower in terms of attendance. What'd you see on TV? Cathalana, I saw it on TV. North Korean biggest counterfeit ring in the world. Oh yeah, they are that. Yeah, they've done a lot of counterfeit money out of North Korea. So you want to put Southern Boy Purple in some too? Yeah. Thank you, Southern Boy Purple. Appreciate that. Good day to stay warm with Southern Boy. There you go. That coffee helps. I actually got a little hot, buffering badly. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I'm not showing any sign of it right now, but sometimes in my videos just blank out. I lose contact. I guess I'm going to have an egg giveaway. Oh, you got a lot of eggs. That sounds good. Keep buffering out. You look like a digital camo. Well, I got camo on, but I shouldn't look digital. It's not digital camo. That's not the kind I'm wearing. I'm wearing the older stuff, 11 degrees. Woo-wee. Yeah. We got down to 19 here earlier in the week. But that's pretty good for this. My name is Clyde, and I saw it on TV. Okay. Southwest Colorado. Well, Rebel, I'm going to be close to you. Not too far. Not too far. Now, I'm going to be back and forth. I'm not going to stay there all the time. So I got this place here. I got family here. I got a lot going on here. And I am... mother computer was trying to reset on me. I got a laptop over here. Got a main computer back here. I'm using my phone. The camera on my laptop, I got 3 laptops, and all of them got bad cameras on them. One of them's an Apple. I'm still trying to figure out how to use it. Everybody said, get an Apple. It's so much easier to use. Really? I hadn't figured it out entirely. Suggestion. I got this because Rex said get it. Rex says, this is what you need to make your videos, Greg. I haven't got there yet. And I got some other things I need to learn a little bit more about. I've got one of those things like he uses to walk with that balances the phone. I just hadn't had time to figure out how to use the darn thing. That's the way. If I got a drone over here, a little bitty, small little drone. I hadn't figured out how to use it in just because I hadn't had time. Sawzall Jones, hey. And Kevin. Alabama's long north and south. But there's some areas right in the middle. I grew up in Marshall County, which is still North Alabama. It's further south than where I'm at now, because I'm only 8 miles from the Tennessee border here. It takes 6 hours to drive all the way down to South Alabama, down to the coast. Maybe a little bit longer to get to Mobile. It's a good drive. I grew up in cold country. We didn't allow that it was cold until you could step outside, take a deep breath. Oh yeah, and have your nostrils freeze all the way down to your lungs. I know what that's like. What that's like is you got to carry a handkerchief because as soon as you walk in a building after stepping out and having all the frost freeze will come gushing out. Hey, live in Alaska, it got 10 below. And sure enough, I walked out and I felt that pricky feeling in my nose, and I thought, oh man, this is great. I loved it. I kind of missed that part. Yeah, dry cold. Boy, we got humidity here. Woo-wee, we got humidity. I'm going to swim through the air. Vicky, since then I spent 8 years in Phoenix. Yeah, dry heat. We got humid heat here. Humid heat, humid cold. Fresh eggs are the best. Night, Greg and everyone. Okay, fishes in Love's life. Good night. Glad you were here. Thanks for coming in. Charles Stanbury was asking about what type of hens you have there, son. Okay. I shouldn't be reading stuff saying to each other now, should I? I love California on 40. Dozen a day to 3 to 4. 3 to 4 dozen a day and only 12 chickens? They work hard for you. Well, you must be doing the right thing by your chickens there, Hungary. Your chickens love you. They're showing it. I've seen, who is it? So Justin Rhodes, one of these other gardening channel guys who travels around looking at other farms. He went, I believe it was Justin Rhodes, went to this farm where the guy had all these chickens, and he never fed them, because one of the big deals is, questions after is, can you really make money selling eggs? Watch you, just buffered out. He put his pin around his wood chip paws, and the chickens, apparently, according to him, got all their food and everything they needed from scratching the bugs out of the wood chips. So what do y'all think about that? Want to take no, I don't plan on taking no, you know what I mean. Got a epoxy done. My little talking. Oops, knock on my calculator. I'm gonna put it. I had a syringe here somewhere. I've used it for a talking aid, but I don't see it. Just got away from me. Shoot, shuckins. Where it went? I had a little syringe. No, I don't plan to have no part of that. New plans. Yeah, I got to get set up better. Yeah, that's going to take me a little time, guys. I got so many things I've got to do. But, that would certainly help things out a lot. So, anybody on here watch Jeffrey Dury? He's really hard on Christianity, unfortunately. But he does have some entertaining things every now and then. He's got those rods. I got a set of rods from him. Anybody ever see that? I saw that, Greg. Mud has a lot of nutrients. Well, it does, but is that what you want to eat? Jason, I saw that episode. Oh, okay. And he fed them on the critters in the compost, but they were also grocery store and restaurant scraps in there too. Ah, okay, yeah. Yeah, well, everybody's got that thought of their chickens. All right, yeah. Well, that was Justin Rhodes, wasn't it? You know, he's got a good channel. I like watching his stuff. Justin Rhodes, and there's also Dago Footer. Of course, there's Gordon Greens with John Kohler. Yeah, he's a character. He's a little short guy, and he's just so full of life. He's so excited! Wow! And every video starting it out, but then it goes like an hour. It's like, come on, guy. Yeah, I'd go along too, but some of the stuff, yeah, I think he does a little bit more than I do. But he's so enthusiastic. You gotta love him for that. He's very enthusiastic. But he hasn't been traveling because of the bug. Maybe some of these other guys haven't either. Jason, my daddy grew up on the Grapes of Wrath Trail. Oh. I'm working on worms, says Kathalina. Interesting. Why does a chicken coop have 2 doors? Well, you know, we used to call those things that we put them in on trucks chicken coops. They only had a door on the top. If you worked in a chicken plant, yeah, that's the one you had to open up to pull the chickens out of. Hang them on the line. Yeah, I've done that. That's a nasty job. You up today, go to, yeah, me too. I love it when he goes to the conventions and records oh yeah. Oh yeah, and old Kohler does that. Kohler's real big on going to those conventions and recording stuff. Kohler just, I don't know, he's just a fun guy to listen. I bought stuff from Kohler. I bought seeds from him. There's Hayabusa or whatever it was he was talking about so much. I never planted them. I don't know if they even grow here. Yo, Connie Lens, how you doing? Let's see, just got into sprouting. Awesome. Justin and Curtis are good guys to follow. Oh yeah. And I've had Curtis on my channel. I've done a video with Curtis. And have I been on his channel? No, I don't think so. But I've had him on my channel. Of course, you know, I follow a lot of his, or try to follow some of his practices. Some degree in the gardening aspects. Dago Footer. Dude, so you're laughing about that one, huh? Why they call him Footer Dago? No, I said Dago Footer, didn't I? Or am I totally wrong? I love my worms. Hate some roosters. Uh-oh. I have milk cows and beef cows. Well, I grew up on a beef farm. We had, sorry about that, guys. We raised pole Herefords, but we did keep a dairy cow for milking, and we would always cross a beef bull to her because if you cross a dairy cow with a beef cow, you get the tenderness of the dairy meat and the flavor of the beef meat. And so it makes an extraordinarily good beef, but dairy beef by itself is like cardboard. It's almost flavorless. When you mix them, you get the best of both. And so, you know, I grew up, you know, on the farm eating big old steaks and stuff like that, and hamburger, and everything was always fresh, you know, from our cattle. And so I'd go to a restaurant, and everybody be raving about the steaks, and I'd be thinking, that's terrible. For years, I would only eat seafood when I went to restaurants. I hated their steaks. It took me a long time to get used to restaurant steaks after I left the farm. Took me a long time. I just didn't like them. I was like, yeah, these are terrible. These steaks ain't nothing. Why everybody bragging about these things? Now I came to realize, yeah, it's because of what I grew up on. Roosters make great pet food. I had a brother had a pet banty rooster. And he was a kid, and my older brother, the one that died from the COVID. The rooster would get on the handlebars of his bicycle and go for a ride with him. I remember seeing that. That's what it was like growing up on the farm when I was a kid. Funny stuff. I would like to have a sit down chat with Curtis one of these days. His outlook has changed a lot. Yes. It was starting to change then. But, Jason, here's what I'm thinking. We all grew up with our idealism, but when you get busy in life and rubber meets roads and things get to practicality, especially when you're working independently, you start to value sovereignty, independence. You begin to see things a lot different. That's why if we can get more and more people living in farms, farming, and more people living in habitat concepts like I got, where you can be totally independent practically there, attitudes are going to change a lot. And people are going to value and cherish their freedoms and independence. That's what I'm thinking. Now, if you think I'm full of it, tell me. But I mean, you look, this country is divided between principally urban and principally uh, less urban areas. That is the chief political divide in this country. And it's a difference in philosophy of individualism versus collectivism. Now, you tell me which is more valuable. About the Constitution, things like that all the time. And I'm a sensitive, but I will vote for whoever's going to give me the best assurances that I can still carry things that go bang bang. I can see though. He's got all those federal licenses, and yeah, he could take care of an army. Let's see. I got jerseys, Longhorns, and Highlanders. Oh wow, Rebel! Now we had a Jersey cow when I was a kid, and we had a Guernsey. We had a Guernsey milk cow, and we had a Jersey milk cow. Most of our cattle were Pole Herefords. PBS on the channel. Jason Curtis has a live stream on Thursdays. Yeah, he does. I came in one or two of those. But I'm working at times. Tough for me to do. But hey, Alley Cat. Alley Cat, I owe you a call. Maybe you should send me an email and remind me to get a phone call from you. Wow, or a phone number. I will be calling you, Alley Cat. So we got some chatting to do, don't we? Alley Cat, what time zone are you in? I forget. And how late are you up? That might be good to ask you. 9 a.m. Pacific time. Yeah, okay. That's when Curtis does it. All right. Curtis is on Pacific time. I thought about doing a channel, but don't know how, says Rebel Rose. Well, Rebel, just get you a camera and start videoing and go to YouTube and post it. You got a YouTube channel, you're on here. So just go post stuff. My first video was really horrible. My first one was horrible. I did a video with, it was all over the place. And on Facebook, it got 14,000 views. It was going viral. Like, what? This video? So I said, okay. I had people tell me I need to start a YouTube channel. So I decided after that I'd start mine. I've already been on Rex's show several times by then, talk like that. So I thought I'd just do and so my channel got a lot more complex. Too much, so really. I'm still trying to with it. Jason, good luck. He's a busy man. Yeah, he is. He is. Both are A2 milkers. About jerseys and Guernseys. Hey, they both make good milk. They both made really good milk. So when I was a little kid, my oldest brother used to milk the cow. He's still alive. Uh, he would just, we want to get the cow up. All we had to do is walk out in the pasture, and I'd do it too. Just walk out in the pasture and stand behind her, and she'd walk the barn. She knew it was time. So all you had to do was walk up, stand behind her, and she'd walk the barn. And she was ready. She'd feed her, and she'd get milked. And we'd always milk into a metal pail. And we had a log barn when I was a little kid, and my brother would be milking, and I'd stand on the side across from the log wall where it was a corn crib. That's what that was originally. And my brother Jimmy, he would squirt the milk at me between the cracks and the logs, and I'd try to catch it in my mouth. And it was pretty good unless you hit a log and picked up some dust along the way. But yeah, that was kind of course, the cats would all gather up. They'd want some of that too. Uh, so that was always a funny thing. You milk the cow, cats would show up. How do you post? Says Rebel Rose. Oh, there's just a little button up there on the top of the channel. It looks like a little camera. Go click that, and then it'll give you the upload. Rebel, there's also a lot of YouTube channels that are about nothing other than producing YouTube videos. And one of the key things to remember, and I hadn't done, I'm bad about not doing these live sessions, but listen, you should always, in the first couple of minutes of any video, because a lot of people want to bug out after 2 minutes, you should always tell people to subscribe. The reason that a lot of channels do that at the beginning rather than the end, is because you don't even have like maybe a very small fraction of people at the very end of your video. That's why I always like to ask quizzes a lot of times toward the end, just so I can get an idea who's really watching to the end. And then kind of may encourage people to watch a little bit more too. Some kind of contest for that, right? So yeah, Rebel, I'd love to see you play. So that'd be great if you would do that. Cathalina, worms crawl in and worms crawl out. Yeah, that came from that old movie, right? I remember seeing that movie when I was a kid. I actually watched it again about a year ago. Through your nose. Yep. Scary stuff. Worms crawl in and worms crawl out. I have my worms sitting in my sunroom, getting too cold for them outside. Okay, well, good for you. And Vicky, Greg, I bet the cats didn't miss the milk. No, they didn't. Oh, yeah, cats. Cats. The chickens are smart. Oh, yeah, can be. Nothing to be pretty dumb, too. I don't know. Chicken isn't one of the dumbest animals. Pig's the smartest animal on the farm. Wavy Davy. Did I miss something? Oh, was that Wavy? I don't know. What's Wavy Davy there, Jason? Yeah, Rebel, start a channel. By all means. Start a channel. Who knows? You might be a big star. You're sweet enough. It ought to work. So, I was going to say something. I got totally off track. Oh, well. I think about Rose starting a channel. I was going to say something else. Forgot. I walked in from another room and missed something, I think. Rebel's a sweet lady. I had the privilege of her at LeakCon. So, honey never goes bad, but don't get it hot. Okay. Let me turn off the main light here. That's my work computer. Blue Bottle Bunny Farm Bunny. Or bottle. Hang on. There we go. Oh, can you see the Santas? Can you see the Santas? Let's see. There's one right there. One right there. Yeah, I've set a few Santas up. If you remember, I bought a whole box of them. I'll show you later. I got a whole bunch more set up. I just bought about 4 of them. In case you didn't know, there's some weird things going on. I mean, guys, are we like living in a sci-fi movie? And I've mentioned this before. It's kind of like right now, the times we're living in, it's like a dozen different sci-fi movies with whole completely different plots all happening simultaneously. I mean, it's like so disjoint. So many crazy things going on. Like I did the one about, well, no, I hadn't done a video, but I mentioned it. Should I do a video where they talking about where they took a human gene and put it in a monkey's brain, or gave it to a monkey fetus. This brain grew two times larger than it would have otherwise, and folded similar to the patterns in human brains. You know, it's like Planet of the Apes stuff. And then it just came out today. I saw a notice today where a fetus, an embryo, a 27-year-old embryo was implanted in a woman and was born. She bore a baby girl. Now get this: the woman who carried the baby, was only 2 years old. It was either 1 or 2 years old when it was conceived. Wow. And then on top of that, they reversed aging in eye tissue and got rid of glaucoma in some animals and some studies. They actually reversed age of oxygen, kind of like my was trying to get right. So I don't know. One must be careful if you're a black man taking Michael Jackson medical treatment to a little white woman. So is that what happened to Michael? Poor Michael. Yeah, I don't know. I think his doctor messed up. I think his doctor did something he shouldn't have done. My long shot. So, oh well. But he also had some conditions, I understand. Twilight Zone. Yeah, it's like Wolf Creek, Oregon. I thought it was in Twilight Zone when I was there. And Charles says, wow, what are we wowing to, Charles? Days. There was a movie Strange Days. Remember the movie Strange Days? Movie Strange Days was set in 1999, so it was several years, a few years before. That's the one where they had the little headbands. You put on the headband, and you could feel everything. It was kind of like the earlier movie that Natalie Wood and what's his name played in, Christopher Walken, where they wasn't Scanners. It was another. It was before that. Ah, where they could record your thoughts and memories. They could record what you were thinking and seeing, and you could play it back like a VCR tape. And so you could experience everything somebody else experienced. So this Strange Days was kind of like that, except they were wearing a little headband. And yeah, when you're a lace, we may be heading there, guys. I mean, like I said, this is science. We're living in science fiction days. Freezing embryos for extremely long periods is one of those things that could make a generation colony ship. Yes, Jason, absolutely, absolutely. So now just imagine if you could just clone yourself. I mean, what's the difference between an embryo and a clone? I mean, basically, instead of having uh, two sex cells meet and create DNA, you just take one of your cells and put it inside of take your uh, take the nucleus of your cell with all your DNA and put it inside of an egg cell, and you clone yourself essentially. Uh, of course, you wouldn't have the same mitochondria necessarily, unless you inserted that also into the egg cell. But you would make a clone. So why couldn't you take a clone embryo and freeze it for a long time? So you could believe. So you could have everybody goes, well, it's you. Well, no, it's an identical twin at best. Maybe not even that identical because there would be some differences. More differences in a clone than there would be an identical twin. Now, identical twins aren't exactly the same person. They have a lot of similarities, but they're not the same person. They are individuals. A lot of people think if you clone somebody, that's you all over again. But then again, it is your DNA, so who knows? If you just find a way to do that and put your consciousness in that body, yeah. 30 years from now, have a new me growing. About the time I'm wearing out this old me. But that new me probably wouldn't want anything to do with the old me. No, get away from me. You ain't coming in here. Don't go messing my life up. All your old memories. I don't know all that stuff. Wouldn't it be fraternal twins? Hey Thomas, how you doing? You've been in here from the beginning. So what would it be if you had a clone like that? Fraternal twins. I don't know. Be your twin. So Yeah, we're living in very strange times. It's like science fiction. So, should I was thinking I might do a couple of videos. I might do a Planet of the Apes video. It wouldn't be long. There's not a whole lot to talk about there. And then do a just a video about the science fiction nature of our times. And I could do some other ones. I did the Hive Tech. I talked about Hive Tech arms race in my Hive videos. And, I did those before all this neural lace debuts that, you know, our good friend Elon Musk put out, in which he showed us all those happy pigs. Those pigs weren't happy till they fed them, by the way. And any pig's gonna be happy when you feed it. But he used the happiness of the pigs to validate his whole approach. And I go, really? Yeah, but you fed the pig. You you prejudiced the whole thing. If y'all remember, saw that. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, one of those pigs didn't want to come out. Did not want to be seen. That pig did not want to be on camera. Well, that pig actually had learned something. Oh, let's see. Juliet Lewis, Deep Forest, Peter Gabriel, Stuck Denise, soundtrack. Oh, yeah, yeah. You know what I'm talking about. Was it Total Recall? No, not Total Recall. Although it was similar. Total Recall had similarities. There was no, it was a movie with Christopher Walken and Natalie Wood. Natalie Wood. That was one of her last movies, I think. Might have been her last one. What was the name of that movie? Oh, I can't remember right now. But it was a very interesting movie. It came out back in the 70s. For the 70s, it was pretty good stuff. Well, they had a lot of good movies in the 70s. Come think about it. Some of them started in the 60s, like Planet of the Apes. Aren't we talking about Planet of the Apes? Charles, maybe. Charles, maybe it was your clone. If you space it out just right, you could be your own grandpa. It sounds funny, I know, but it really is so. I'm my own grandpa. Many, many years ago when I was just a lad. No, I don't remember that song word for word. I ain't going there. But that is a song. And it was popularized. No, it was not popularized. It was brought out by, I think, conceived by a comedic country music team known as Lonzo and Oscar. Many other people have repeated that song. I'm my own grandpa. Me myself, I'm my own ex step uncle. So I can kind of relate to that. All right. Hey, Jason, have you heard the song? You know what I'm talking about? Oh, I'm my own grandpa. Who else here has heard of Lonzo and Oscar? They were a comedic country music team. Used to be on Grand Ole Opry a lot. Salsa, I remember that song. Yeah, that was funny stuff, fun stuff. Let's see. Yeah, that's what they did. They cut up and had they, they had one about the green green grass of home. And let's see, and that's the version they were heading to the outhouse, and so sometimes we'd make it, and sometimes we had to fake it. And that's why we had such green green grass at home. Oh yeah, all crazy stuff. My mom used to sing it all the time. All right. So I know Jason. Yep, heard it. All right, we know he's been around here. We know which of us have been around the block a time or two now, don't we? uh, Jason, I think you're probably younger than I am. If you're not, you're doing mighty good there, fella. Yeah, I'm 60 myself, but I listened to a lot of stuff when I was really young. My two older brothers were listening to the 60s rock and roll when I was just a little bitty kid. And still, back then, Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs had a live TV show. I used to watch that. I used to like it. Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs. String Bean would be on there. That's before Grand Ole Opry. Not before Grand Ole Opry. I mean, before Hee Haw. Yeah, long before Hee Haw. And there's some videos from that show on YouTube, by the way. 10 years behind me. That's about what I thought. You're pretty wise there to be 50 there, my wizard brother. My younger wizard brother. My grandfather used to play Rosewood Casket, but would not sing the song. Island, a movie about cloning people for body parts. Oh, you talking about the Island of Morel or something like that? Y'all remember that? That was a story about Crimea. Who wrote that? Was it who wrote the actual written work of Morel Island, whatever it's called, the Crimeas? They made a movie out of it. I guess back in the 80s, was it? 80s or 90s? There was a movie adaptation of that book. Dr. Morel, is that right? I'm sure somebody's going to correct me. Morel, something like that. Brainstorm. Bam, that's it. Thank you. Brainstorm. Sure, you get the gold star. That is it. Brainstorm. That is it. Brainstorm. I needed a brainstorm to think about it. Alonzo and Oscar. There we go. Thank you. Wow, you got 2 gold stars. Brainstorm and Alonzo and Oscar. All right, Cheryl, you're cooking tonight. Lonzo, that's right. Lonzo, not Alonzo. Lonzo and Oscar. There's actually, I think there was 3 or 4 of them in that group. But it was mainly Lonzo and Oscar. They were the ones that was named after. And who knows of Sam and Kurt McGee of Tennessee? Anybody remember them? Went to the depot. Let's see. How did that song go? I went to the depot. I looked upon the board. Said good times are here. Better down the road. A lot of folks have covered. I'm my own grandpa. That's true. Ray Stevens, Tom Arnold, Willie Nelson. Yeah, a lot of people did it, but Lonzo and Oscar started it. They were the originators. But yeah, a lot of people did copy it. It's funny because you gotta really stay up with it on that one. And I think Lonzo and Oscar also did There's a Hole in the Bottom of the Sea. Everybody remembers that. There's a hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a log in a hole in the bottom. I want to hear. Oh, they had a lot of them. A lot of them. And there was the most beautiful song in the world called "Oh Horse." All right, enough of that topic. Enough of that topic. So, we've been fairly positive tonight. We talked a little bit about the science fiction nature of the world we live in. It can be good or bad. Technology is a tool. It's how it's wielded in the hands of the controller that determine the good or bad. Technology is neither good nor bad, but it can enable great good or great bad. It's really up to our hearts that we try to keep. We've already got to work and find ways to get our civilization turned around. Rex had a guy on his show who was a former Naval SEAL and even former CIA guy who did a lot of remote viewing and things like that. He's with Jay Campbell now. They've kind of teamed up, and he's talking about just sending out love, that to really evil people. He says, and the really evil people, some people you can turn with it, but the ones that are almost purely evil, it just crushes them, and you can kind of, like the Wicked Witch of the West, make them melt. She melted in water, right? So with love, evil melts, because like I say, light can't stand dark. How do you get rid of darkness? You shine light. How do you get rid of hate? You shine love. So maybe that's the secret. We need more love in the world today. I tell you guys in some videos when we had the prayer sessions, go out and shine your love light to the world. And I think it's what we got to do. We got to focus on that more. Oh yeah, they came up with the term called love bubbles. Love bubbles. That was on Rex. He aired that I think today around lunchtime, and it's a Marine, not Marine. It's a Navy SEAL guy. I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but Apparently Rex had been watching him, and this guy had been watching Rex, and finally Jay brought morning light. Good night, morning light. You got to be up to light the morning. Black dogs. Thank you. Show my age. Well, sure, I appreciate you there. Just need to have a heart, love. Yes, I have done that. Sent love. Yeah. They change or dissipate. That's what Rebel's saying. You send them love, and they're either going to have to change or they'll dissipate. Isn't that cool? And he had done that to, he said, to uh, Osama bin Laden. He said the guy had a demon, and it's one way to combat demons too. Main drawback of technology is that it tends to separate people from the ability to feel life, making it harder to realize that we are spirit having a human experience. We are. And a lot of people have this enigma. They think the biggest enigma is, why is there a universe? Why are we here? I would submit the biggest enigma is this. In my mind, the biggest enigma in the entire universe isn't why is there a universe. It's why are we as spiritual beings living in a physical world? And if you've seen my philosophies about the universe in a solo cup or a funnel, that I've covered that on Rex's channel. I've covered that on the Christian Whistleblowers channel, Jeffrey Daugherty. I've covered that on my channel. I've talked about that more than once. He's saying love occurs all is true. Love cures all. Been doing it for many years. Lizzie's hate it. Oh, Rebel. Oh, Rebel. You could do two channels, Rebel. Do a farm channel and do a spiritual channel. Yeah, you could. You could do that. The Lizzie's hate it. Yeah, and this guy was talking about the reptoids. He really was. Because Rex says all reptoids aren't bad. So we are here to learn to love unconditionally. Well, that's would be, a lot of people are really failing in school, aren't they? The best love in the world is the love of a puppy dog, kitten, a baby, and really, really, really old people when they're right at the very end. Just look in their eyes. There's that twinkle. They've got this certain twinkle in their eyes, a certain look. And it's like magic when you see that twinkle in their eyes. It's a knowing. And it's like a special wisdom or knowledge. You just see it coming out. The eyes are the windows of the soul. And sometimes when you look in the eyes of somebody who's lived almost their entire life, and you see how they're looking, and you see that twinkle, the realization that they have, that what they're experiencing, there's something very magical there, and we all need to learn that and learn to appreciate what they've come to see at that point in their lives. There's much wisdom in that twinkle and that look. It's a window to the depths of the soul, I am sure. It's a beautiful thing. And I think it is indeed tied to nothing less than unconditional love. I mean, hey, you love your kids even when they're naughty, right? You don't stop loving your kid just because they're naughty. No, you try to discipline them and bring them up. And but there's something wrong with that. Yeah. Technology is all it tells us money is only a medium of exchange. That's right. That's what technology is, just a tool. Yeah, yes, you could, Rebel. Two channels. I'm convinced of that. Two channels. And I kind of feel like I've got my my council here with Rebel and Rebel Rose and Desert Rose and Soul's Eye Jewel and Vicky and Jason. There's a few of you out here that are just, you're just a council of wisdom. And I'm always so happy to see you guys come on the channel. You always have such perspective and depth and what you see and what you feel and what you know. And you guys are real luminaries, real stars. And you give a lot of depth to our chat sessions in this channel. Thank you. I mean, if there was a church of Green Gregs, you would be the deacons. Deacons, deaconesses. Or I don't know, maybe you guys would be the cardinals. I don't know, I'll say popes. Don't think we need popes. All right, we covered the comments. We've been going for an hour and 22 minutes now. The crucible for silver and the furnace for gold, but he tries the hearts of men. There we go. And dope, says Jason. I remember when Pope John Paul first came to the United States. The thing that tickled me was somebody was selling Pope soap on a rope. I thought that was funny. Sure enough, they had a piece of soap on a rope that was fashioned in the resemblance of John Paul. And I'm sure they made it killing selling Pope soap on a rope. Hey, I like I like anything that rhymes. I'm a sucker for that stuff. Ah, so thank you. So Soul's Eye Jules. Yeah, Soul's Eye, you're one of our you are a jewel. We got jewels and roses. We're blessed here in this channel. We're blessed by having, I got the best subscribers, the best patrons, the best time, and it's just it does lift my spirits. I can be in kind of down and out, but when they have a live session, it always lifts my spirits. It always does. Jason, I don't know about being part of a hierarchical power structure now. I don't do that. I'm not into that. Just having fun. But I'm just trying to say that some of you guys just bring so much to the table here. So much. Hey, I still got my Odin medallion on here. Hey, like I said, it's the only thing my son ever gave me. So it's kind of cute, right? He whom I serve is God of gods. There you go. I talk about the greater creator. There are a lot of gods throughout history and mythology and whatever else you want to call it. Many, many gods. And I would say they're all gods with a little g. But there is the ultimate. And to the greater creator, the whole universe is just a little thing. It's an artifact, as fast as it is. It's almost as incomprehensible as it is to us. When you consider the physics, and when I talk about the universe and the solar cup, that's why I do that, or the universe in a funnel. Because if you back off, there's a certain level you can back off to. Only the greater creator can see it. The universe is a thing. It's an artifact. It's many, 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 seemingly infinite number of dimensions. Actually, it isn't totally infinite. There are many paths available, but it's not infinite. Contrary to the Copenhagen interpretation, the dual split experiment, the Heisenberg principle, however you want to count it, I would say anything and everything that can't happen, which is what they claim. No. Of course, they think that the universe, the reality collapses the second you look at something. I don't buy that either. I'm more into pilot wave theory, but I do believe we have a multiverse, a complex multiverse, and I believe that's why we have free will. So that's where I'm at. Saul's eyes. Jason, I love that you said grok. Stranger in a strange land. Heinlein. Heinlein was a member of the board of directors of the L5 Society and later the National Space Society. And I supported a guy who started a company based on a name that Heinlein had chosen, Spaceways. I did support that once upon a time. Yeah, I've been on the board of directors of the National Space Society, but it was after Heinlein left. Opinions say their worlds kept collapsing because they did not acknowledge their creator. There we go. Are we not in the same boat today? Barron Trump is the first son to occupy the White House in 50 years. Whew. John F. Kennedy Jr. That's interesting. The more you know. Stronger frogs popcorn. Probably not what you meant by that. Deep Function X 999. Of course, we know that Barron Trump was a character from a time travel book too, right? From a century ago. Went to the center of the earth. Now we have a Barron Trump in the White House. And boy, that boy has grown tall fast. Holy smokes. Studying with a Hopi elder for almost a year now. So that's amazing. Wow. You know, I like to sit around with you guys around a campfire or around some sofas in a hotel or something. Just sit around and chat for some good long time. It would be interesting. We can learn a lot from each other if we just all get together. So maybe one day we'll have a Green Greg's Con. Green Greg's Con. So what are we going to have for breakfast at Green Greg's Con? Is it going to be Green Greg's, fried Green Greg's and ham? That was not me. Timothy said, "Hey Greg, I'm a young guy, and if thing kick off with Iran or China, will there be a draft? Probably happen too fast. It'll probably all go down too fast, unless there's just some kind of buildup. You know, we've not had a draft in this country since the Vietnam War. I went in the Army that didn't have a selective service. They got rid of that. Now, of course, now you got to register for it. I never registered for the selective service because I actually went in the Army. So I thought, why am I got to register? I was there. You got me. So I think it'll go down so fast that I don't think there'll be a draft. I don't. It's possible, and this thing's got on a slow cooker. But I just don't see it. I really don't. I could tell you some stories. I bet, Rebel. I bet you could. Sitting with a fire would be awesome, wouldn't it, though? Amy, good evening. We'll have to rewatch. Oh, yeah, it's getting late. We'll have to go home in a minute, too. Greg, someday when the stupid lockdown is over, that sounds wonderful. Yeah, that's what it's going to have to be. That's why we're here right now. We can lockdown don't stop us right now from chatting here. Now the platform may one day say, "Oh, y'all can't talk. Y'all dangerous. Y'all can't talk to each other." But for now, we can, and hopefully that day will come when we can have some excuse to all get together and have a good chat. But wouldn't a campfire really be the best thing? Maybe we'd have a camp somewhere. Hey, I'll have a ranch in Arizona one day. What do we got here? Some room to kick her. Well, some room to kick around. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Or some other place we might find. You know, of course, we got to watch it. You know, remember when Rex and several went to the monuments somewhere in the Southwest and they got swatted? Yeah, that was a trying time. We don't want to get into that, so we got to be careful. But the campfire is definitely. I mean, if we had to go to a national park somewhere, that'd be cool. Find a national park, maybe in place, because that's in the middle of the country. Arkansas is pretty much in the middle of the country. You got the Ozarks there, a lot of mountains. There ought to be a good park that all meet at in the Ozarks. And I could be traveling back and forth between Alabama and Arizona and just stop off. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah, it'd be camp time. We'll do a live video, all of us together. Post it. That'd be awesome. And Rebel Rose, you could have your own channel, so we could have several simulcasting. Possible that the National Guard will be nationalized. Yeah, if we have a war, definitely. Well, and they do activate National Guard companies. They did that during uh, the Gulf War. There were a lot of National Guard companies went to Iraq, Kuwait, and Iraq. A lot of them did. Back in the days of the Vietnam War, they thought the National Guard, you go to the National Guard, you never had to see combat. But boy, that's not true now. They rely heavily on the National Guard. So, Aaron Wiseau, I can find some cheap land and build a shack home. There you go. Well, I'm gonna move my bus. Hopefully, I get that bus. National Forest, 1 mile away. Well, there you go, Rebel. That's an idea. Definitely. We have an extra bed for you in the Ozarks. Well, thank you, Amy. Amy, you might as well shoot me an email. Remind me of that. I think you told me that before. All right. Yeah, you actually, I do get messages from Amy through Facebook too. So you just do that. Wow, I have to hit some coffee. Amy is one of the people that sent me a lot of Facebook messages. Well, I tell you though, I get so many messages from so many people. I can't really. It's hard to follow it all. I get about 40 hours worth of videos to watch a day. I'm on the edge of the boreal forest. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Alrighty, guys, we've gone long, and this coffee is just not covered for me now. It's not enough. I may have to jump in the pot and do the backstroke. I'm not drinking it fast enough because I'm talking too much. Maybe that's my problem.
I got the gift of gab. That's what some folks says. Boy, you got the gift of gab.
I don't know. Is that what I got? Or am I just delusional? Oh, what happened there? It's an intense read. Hmm. You have to understand I have too much time on my hands to go rabbit holing. I'm Chatty Cathy. Catherine. Books of the Hopi. Yeah, that's something I really like to hear more about. I mean, you've got to have with Hopi had so much prophecy. Holy smoke! You can tell us so much, so much. And guys, it would be a lot of fun. It would be a lot of fun. Don't go to some stinking hotel. Meet in a campground. Campground. We might have to do a hotel thing occasionally. Just some people just aren't. That's not their inclination. But I think a campground would be the best way to have a green grapes con. In the green, in a forest. That'd be awesome. Green grapes con. Faint Waters is given access to so much. Hmm. Even the tablets. Oh. 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 And Vicky says, Greg, when you do have more to do than time to do it, then you have to pick and choose. Yeah, sometimes the picking's a little too severe. Campground would be awesome, wouldn't it though? All right. Well, you know what? We'll have to do that one day. We'll have to do this. Let's just start thinking about it. Bring Greg's Con. We'll have to. There we are. Davey's the person who's usually the first on most of my videos. Echo in the forest. I volunteer. Survival trade day. Oh, there you go. Survival trade day. Hmm, that's interesting. Rendezvous. Like yeah, it could be the rendezvous, not a con. Rendezvous. Green Greg's rendezvous. Yeah, like the old fur trappers. Rendezvous. I think that is the idea. You know, that's what you do, right, Frozen? Rendezvous. Yeah, we'd have the frontier spirit to it. Rendezvous. Maybe some trade day, like a flea market. I don't think they permit that in the national park. We have to find some other spot, a little bit more accommodating. Something to think about. The only other white man to have ever seen the tablets was a man named Hugh Nibley. His memoirs are stored at Brigham Young University, and you can read them online. Hugh, that's my middle name, by the way, Hugh. And Hugh is also 432 hertz, which I found out later was a God frequency. I didn't know all that until I was walking through the Mount Hollywood Tunnel with Rex, and he's chanting Hugh. I don't know what the heck's he saying that for? Hugh. And then I built that with Halo, and some of you saw that video. The light captured by both my and Rex's cameras. Weird. That's your cousin's name, Huey. So my great granddad was Goodman Hugh Allison. My dad is James Hugh Allison, and my son also has my name, Hugh Allison. So it's been going around. So there are Allisons, but I don't know that I had any others directly in my ancestry on this side of the pond for Goodman Hugh Allison. So Goodman Hugh Allison he was my great grandfather, had the same initials, Goodman, Greg, same middle name. And I was born on another great grandpa's birthday. Trump win? We shall see. We shall see. Will Trump win? Could still possible. My ex is Goodman. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Not a lot of Goodmans. But his dad had 20 kids. So, you got to come up with some name. Use some names that aren't so common. When you have 20 kids, you got to have some interesting choice of names, especially if you live in a world where a lot of other people had 20. Now, my great granddad had, out of that 20, he was a year old. Union troops were going through that area, slave territory. It was done in the mountains. There were yeoman farmers. But it didn't matter. They still got their houses burnt. Um, the crops crops laid flat, mules and cattle slaughtered. They would go through and bust open the barrels of sorghum or anything they had like that, pour it on their mattresses. I've heard all kind of crazy sorts of things that was done. Um, the He was a year old. His oldest three brothers fought for the Confederacy. One of them, the oldest one, I believe, was an officer in the Confederate Army. None of them owned slaves. Yeah, that's a little hard for me to swallow, especially since they probably resented the plantation owners more than anything, because slavery deprived them of jobs. If you're a yeoman farmer, they were your competitors, and it was not a fair competition. So they didn't really like the plantation owners, the flatlanders, as you might call them. They didn't like them. So that was an interesting dynamic. So, what's everybody else says? This is a good one. It would be and learn way you related to Todd's in northern. I'm not sure what Todd's in northern Alabama. Frozen World Todd's what? Todd's. I mean Tony. Is that what you're talking about? Tony. You know, come to my place, 70 acres in the Ozarks. All right, Wazal, that sounds like fun. 70 acres is enough area to kick back. You sure you want us all up there? Be a good place to kick back and have a big bonfire and chat around and sing some songs and have a uh, prepper's survivalist trade day. Maybe do a little some little wildcrafting skills of some type. Oh, whoa. Gunnersville. What about Gunnersville, Frozen World? Get around Gunnersville, Alabama. What about Guntersville? Tell me about it. Tell me about Gunnersville. Is that where you're at? Frozen World. Frozen World. All right, now you got me curious. The Todd family. Oh, the Todd family. I don't think I mentioned the family. Is that your family? Is that your family? The Frozen World? Todd family is your family? I was born in Gunnersville. That's where I'm from. But I grew up on Sand Mountain. If you drew a triangle, if anybody knows that area, if you drew a triangle between Boaz, Albertville, and a little place called Douglas and put a pin right in the center of it, that's where I grew up. If you look at the map today, Glasscock. Oh, yeah, there were a lot of Glasscocks around. Glasgows and Glasscocks. Union Surgeon. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're on the forest. So you did. Great. No, I was Confederate. So you got both sides of the family. Both sides, Union and Confederacy. Kansas. Okay. But you got family down here. All right, I got it. I follow it now. Todd family. Yeah, I don't know any Todds personally, but yeah, there's Todds around. Hmm. So, Sand Mountain, Chop Shop Central. Bondo Hill. You're right. We called it Bondo Hill once upon a time. Sure enough, guys go up north and get rusted out cars from up north and bring them south and Bondo them up and resell them. Mix them up and sell them. And that's what Sand Mountain was known for. And also for Sand Mountain sorghum syrup. Gores. Oh yeah, now I'm related to some Gores. Also, I went to high school with a guy named Gore. I don't know if I'm related to him or not, but he became the head of the cancer center they got in Albertville now. If you know that new cancer center, Gary Gore was heading that up at one time. I went to high school with him. He was in my class. So, be a blast. Alrighty, guys. I think we've gone long enough here. What do y'all think? Does anyone have a prayer request? How about this? Who is the most evil? I tell you what. Let's all start sending some love to Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping. Let's see if it changes them or evaporates them. Who else? We should start picking on people to send love to, broadcast love to them. How about that? How about that as a way to take on the world and the problems in the world? What do y'all think? I'm not seeing any comments. What happened here? Hit the comment button. Okay. So I'm in this mode now where I'm going to have to hit the comment button and see the latest comments. Oh, there we go. My sister. Oh, sorry to hear that, Ken. Oh, so I'll play for Ken. Sister-in-law passed away. Do that, and let's see if we can melt Xi Jinping. Who else? All right, let's just peace and prosperity. Let's get through this crazy 2020s. Let's what we ought to do is stop, reset, and that's something we should ping him. Ping Jing Xi Jinping. I'm praying for the entire world, for the poor, the homeless. There we go. So you started to drag. Wrap it up. Yeah, it's wrap up. It's time to wrap up. Jesus did tell us to pray for our enemies. Amen. Amen. That's it. What better can we do than send them love? Love thy enemy. Yeah, we're actually told to love thy enemy. But if they're good, it'll turn around. If they're bad, it'll make them go poof. Love, the best weapon in the universe. Interesting. Hmm. Oh, your aunt was 100. Wow. All right, let's do a little quick prayer session. I remember Ken, my sister-in-law, and let's. All right. So, shine your love light to the world. And pray with love. Just set your little love bubbles free. I think that's how we're going to do this. Do good to them that hate you for it. Awesome. All right, guys. I want everyone to be careful, take care. The holidays can be stressful. We're coming into Christmas season, so I hope it's a time of peace and joy and family togetherness. And we'll be back together here again. I'm beginning to like this rendezvous. All right, everyone. Good night, y'all, and have an awesome night. You're the best. You are the best. I thank y'all so much for being here and sharing this time with me. Anyway, good night.